Hello. Today we're going to talk about boundaries. Whether you're someone who gets disrespected a lot or someone who grew up people pleasing and never had boundaries to begin with, you're going to learn something today. And I want to start with a simple question. Why do people test boundaries in the first place? Now, I'm going to talk about this based on what I've seen, what I've lived through, and what I've watched happen to other people. Alright, so it usually starts in your very first interaction with someone. Maybe they touch you in a way that's a little too, weird. You know those types of people that are a little too handsy in your first interaction, invade your personal space. That's what I mean. And also it could be somebody making a joke about something they shouldn't, first interaction. This is first impressions. It's a little weird. But even though these things they're not like that insane, but this is like the stepping stones. They're small things, but it's still crossing the line. That's usually how boundary testing begins. Something subtle, something that makes you think, why did you feel comfortable doing that? We literally just met. You following? Alright, let's continue. Okay, so the first boundary is called the automatic no. Now this one should be self-explanatory, but don't worry if you're a little confused. I will explain it a little bit more and give you some examples. But one quick example would be someone touching you, someone putting their touching you without your permission or giving you a signal at least. That's like, oh, you're okay with that. That's a very quick one. All right, but yeah, the automatic no. It doesn't. There's no explanation. You don't need to explain this one. You don't even need to go into detail. It's just no, off rip. Like instant shutdown. But moving on to the next one. Now the second boundary, I call it the stop doing that boundary. That's what I call it, right? These are the things people might do without realizing it bothers you until you say something. Once you point it out, they either fix it or show who they really are. Now, moving on to the third boundary, I call it the common sense boundary. This is the one right here where it should be common knowledge not to do something. It should be common knowledge. This is simple, but maybe this one is a little complicated. I don't know, but it should be common knowledge for everybody, not even just someone that you know, to not do a certain thing. Because it's like in your brain it should click like, oh, this isn't good, this is bad, I probably shouldn't do that. But yeah, I hope that makes sense. You can ask questions, all right? We are not afraid to answer questions on this channel. You can type anything down below. But I will say this. Maybe I may be a little naive, explaining these three types of boundaries. These are from my perspective, and this is a mixture of my experience and the experience of other people. So, you know what I mean? Like, I only know so much, right? Maybe I'm thinking about it too deep. Like, maybe this is the limit to the boundaries. Like, there's nothing else here. I think I might have said everything. Like I really put things into three types. Like, that's not crazy. Let me shut up. Anyways, let's get into some solutions. You know what we do here. Let's get into some solutions, right? So, going back to the immediate no. All right. Okay, now for this one, right? You look. First off, let me explain it, right? This is some more examples. If someone walks into your room without permission, touches you when they shouldn't, like I said earlier, grabs something that isn't theirs, or just does something that instantly makes you go, what are you doing? There's nothing else you can do about this. Like, there's only solution to this. There's only one. It's to say no. It's very simple. You see how simple that is? But it might be a little hard because I understand it. Because for me, being a people pleaser, right? Because I was one of those. I was a people pleaser, right? It's very hard to say no. Okay? It might take you a minute, but you got to start saying it. It's going to be a little difficult, but you got to say no. Got to say no. Got to try something. All right? So moving on. Let's go to the next boundary. The solution for the next boundary. Stop doing that. Okay, for the stop doing that boundary, I definitely can come up with a better name. But anyways, we got option A. You can confront them directly All right, it's as simple as that. Tell them to stop doing that. Tell them you don't like that. That's not cool. And see what type of response you get. All right, and then you got option B. Distance yourself. All right. So if someone's from school, work, online, whatever, you can just simply cut them off completely, right? Well, at work it might be a little difficult. At school, I'd say they're about equal. School and work, it's like it's gonna be a little harder, but you can try. You can try one of those two things. All right, either to confront them, talk about it, say you don't like it. You don't have to come with aggression, or you can just distance yourself. Maybe even just start ignoring them. You know what I'm saying? Do your job at work, just ignore them. Or you might have to start looking for another job. Or at school, you can just simply walk past them. You know what I mean? Ignore them in class. I don't want to talk to you, or whatever. I feel like some of these I'm overthinking. It might not be. You might not get a severe reaction from somebody, but I don't know. All right, but yeah. Now, oh, that's right. In regards to family. Now, if it's someone in the household, now that might be a little tricky. I'm not gonna lie. All right. Okay, for family. All right, I got something for you. All right, listen. So you got the first two options, right? Well, yeah, you can still use the first two options: the confront, talk about it, or you can cut them off if you're not at home. But if you're at home, that's gonna be a little trickier. So this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna have to figure out a way to create space, all right, and avoid as much as possible. And avoid them as much as possible, or don't even give them the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Stay so to yourself that they can't even get a chance to like cross a boundary. Now, if you are of a younger age, this might even be more difficult for you, because that's how this typically works. If you're younger, they, I was gonna say like parental figures, or just people that are older in general, are probably gonna have more authority. So you're gonna be like forced to listen pretty much. So this might be a little harder, but you can still try some of this, the avoidance, as much as you can. Now, remember, I don't have all the answers, but I have to give you something, and I'm going to give you something. So if it works, then I'm honestly, I'm glad that I could help you out. But yeah, create some type of distance. Keep close access to whatever it may be, things, personal information. It doesn't matter what it is, because that's how boundaries are. It can be crossed in many ways. But yeah. All right. So for the third one, last one, the common sense boundary. This one is the easiest to explain, but somehow the hardest one for people to follow. This boundary is universal. It's literally called the common sense boundary. Now, let me get into it, all right? So, this is what you're going to want to do, okay? We also have the first two options as well. Confront it, all right? Confront the problem. Or you can cut them off. Now, listen, let me explain to you something. I know I'm speaking a little slow here, but let me explain to you why this boundary is different. Because for this boundary right here, it's called common sense, the common sense boundary. It's so, let me get this in your head. It's so simple to understand. It's not even funny. But the funny thing about this is that it's called the common sense boundary, and people in real life do lack common sense. All right, it's plentiful. Lacking in common sense. It's plentiful. Just look around. But let me give you an example. All right, for anyone that is a little clueless on the common sense boundary. Okay, like a really good example. Imagine if someone walked into your room, right, or a friend actually walks into your room, and goes into your safe and takes out $1,000 thinking you'll be fine with it. Just that you understand now? You understand where I'm going with this? Like, you only have two options. Like I said, like, all of these, they all have the same options. Confront it, and if they don't want to fix it, especially for this one, if they don't want to change or apologize, or they still can't comprehend for the common sense boundary what they did was wrong, you gotta drop them. All right. I hope this helps. Okay. I will see y'all later. All right. Have a good one. Goodbye.